All right, welcome everybody. This is Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College. And as we start on our journey to learn C Sharp in the AWD 1100 C Sharp programming class for the spring 2024 semester, I have removed every bit of the software we're using from my computer, and I'm going to attempt to bring it on again. So you don't, of course, need this part, but I'm going to go into Visual Studio.com/downloads right now. That's how I'm going to start this. So there I am, visualstudio.com downloads, and I'm going to hit enter. Now, when this comes up, you want to download Visual Studio 2022. You want the community, which is the free download. The biggest difference between the community and the professional and enterprise, other than the community is free, and these are not, is these have a lot more features and functionality for things like, for example, creating creating reports and stuff like that doesn't mean anything to us anyway. So I'm going to click here on the free download. And there it is. Okay. And of course it asks me, it says, hey, you need to be an administrator. I am. So I'm just going to let it start downloading. It says before you get started, we'll need to set up a few things so you can configure your download. All right, so I'll click continue. And it's grabbing and getting stuff ready. Now, one thing I didn't remove from my machine, I maybe should have, was the installer. That is this that you see on your screen right here. This may be the most important part of the semester. All right, and that is there's really three things that I want you to choose on here. There's only two you have to choose, but three of them I think you should choose. You must choose right here, .NET Desktop Environment. That one has to be checked. You must choose Data Storage and Processing. That one must be checked. Now, if you're in this class, the chances are virtually 100% that in summer of 2024, you will be taking the AWD1100 class, which is sort of a continuation of this one. In there, you learn how to write web applications using C Sharp. And in order to do that, you want to make sure this first one here that says ASP.NET Web Development is also checked. So check ASP.NET and Web Development, check .NET Desktop Development, and check Data Storage and Processing. That should be everything you have to check. All right. Then coming over to the bottom right-hand corner, you can see right now this is what it's going to be adding. Click Install. Now it says it's going to take 9 gig, so it's not going to install like that. Plus, you better make sure you've got that on your machine, that much disk space. So I'm going to click Install here and let it do its thing. Now, I have not started to do the actual lectures that I'm going to do for the class yet. I'm doing this one on my own, however you want to say that, but I'm going to send this URL out to people so that if they want to try to go in and have this software installed before the semester starts, they can do that. If you are not comfortable doing that, don't. Then just don't do it. We'll go over it again on day one in class. All right, I promise. Now there's a few downloads that are taking place here. Here it says downloading and verifying, and it's almost half done. This says installing packages, and it's about between 20 and 25% done. And there may even be other things that come up once these finish. So the downloading and deploying is at over 70%. The installing packages is about a third done. So the top one is just about finished. It's at 96%. And the bottom one is a third done. A little more than a third. So again, the top one says that it is done. The bottom one is about 45% finished. All right. Now, I am in the living room of my house, and there is a grandfather clock in here. You may have heard it go off once already. But when it goes off for 3 o'clock, which is in about 8 or 9 minutes, if this is not finished by that time, I'm going to pause the taping so you don't have to hear that. Not exactly a whole heck of a lot that I can do while this is happening. I will mention, I might as well, that I'm going to go out right now to Muroc.com, who's our publisher. And under Muroc.com, I'm going to go to Shop Books, C Sharp Books. This is our book, Muroc C Sharp 8th edition. That's the book that you will be using for this class. The book that you probably will be using for the AWD1100 class in summer will be this one. All right, but if I go and bring up this one, you'll notice 22 chapters, 772 pages, and it's recent. All right, it's less than a year old. We're going to go through virtually all of it. All right, and if you want, you can go out there and download these 2 chapters. All right, but I'm going to give you the slides, the PowerPoint slides that go with the book. We're at about 75% for the bottom part here. All right, it says it's 99% done on the bottom, finishing up. Now, sometimes when it does this and it says finishing up, it may say this may take a while. And it's starting up Visual Studio. Now, you may get something like this about signing in. If that happens, and what I'll do is I think it says something like you can wait or do it later, whatever. That's what I'm going to do. All right. And this is basically everything that we want right here. Now, you won't have anything here. I've got a lot of projects that I've done in the past. Those are here. But we have now gone in and we have installed Visual Studio 2022. And you'll notice that that very similar to the icon that we had for Visual Studio Code, except it's purple. This is the one for Visual Studio. All right. And if I go into here now, in fact, down to here, and I go under Microsoft, let's just go down to here. There we go. Visual Studio 2022, and it says it's new. Now, if I forgot to install something or I wanted to uninstall something, I could go to the installer here and do that. All right, so I'm going to close. All right, so I am finished with this right now. I'll come back with chapter 1 in just a couple moments. Thanks.